why we choose not to seek understanding of the reason behind our problem. If you're speaking for a vast majority of people, why do most people never really look to seek to see what the root is? Is because, think about this, most people are in denial. And what is chaos? Chaos for our mind is hell. How many of you agree? Our mind doesn't like chaos. So what do? We create what's called a fixated view of reality in a desperate attempt to create some order in what is actually quite chaotic. Because reality is very chaotic if you was to actually look at how many things happen every single day. Very chaotic. So what do? We create a view of the world. We create models of the world. We create fixated beliefs of why things happen in the way things happen. Yes or no? We create a thinking pattern associated with that. Most of us do not want to change this fixated view that we created from young. This is why we build up on that view. You ever notice that? How most people are really defending their view of reality and not wanting to break free? You ever try to argue with somebody who's difficult and notice how true that really is? How they're not really looking to change their mind? They are more fixated on protecting their mind. Yes or no? So most people are living in denial because denial prevents ownership and change. This is why, if you think about it, we often change when we get to a point where we stop denying the problems we actually have. That's actually the first step to change. No longer BSing yourself. No longer lying to yourself. I tell you, that's quite a big step forwards. Coming from somebody who struggled with addictions involving various drugs, to admit that maybe things are going a little bit out of control. How many know what I'm talking about? That's a very scary move for anyone to make. But it was the moment I said, yes, I think things are a little bit out of control. It was in that moment I was a step closer to change. How many know what I'm talking about? So therefore, what we got to do is firstly choose who do you want to be. You can either spend your life defending your construction of reality, that's like a pretty sandcastle you've created all throughout your life, or you can spend the rest of your life deconstructing the sandcastle, creating a new, better, bigger castle, if that's what you want. That's a choice. So remember, your mind doesn't want you to do that. Your mind doesn't want you to adopt any form of pattern that's like that, because that's actually going to help you to break through. So this is why when I'm looking to change my life, when I'm developing myself on a daily basis, I'm not just listening to things that I agree with. When I'm hearing a coach, I'm actually more looking at the things that I disagree with. How many of you agree? That's probably more important if I want to deconstruct my sandcastle. Because I remember there used to be a coach I had back in the days who used to say, Tim, everybody's trustworthy. And I'm just like, in my mind, physically, I was just like, nodding along. But in my mind, I was just like, what is this guy talking about? Does he even know what people are like? I mean, what I'm talking about. Totally disagreed with him. But the moment I allowed some of that in terms of maybe, yes, maybe, there is goodness in people's hearts, things began to shift. New sandcastle being built. Are you getting this? So remember, in life, you've got a choice to make. You can either change or you can be right. You can either change or you can be right. You can either break through or be right. You can either become successful or be right. You can either become very, very healthy or be right. That's a choice. Because here's a fact. Sometimes the best things you can do in life seems very wrong, depending on how fixated you are of your beliefs in your mind. This is why they say the best limiting belief to question first is the belief you believe in the most. That's your most convincing sandcastle. You're so convinced that sandcastle exists. Right? That's a great place to start.